Hello, and welcome to Hoop Shooting the Breeze, our show all about the hoop shoot. Each show, we catch up with past participants, volunteers, and other friends of the Hoop Shoot program. I'm Makenna Cannon, and welcome to a very special episode of the show where we'll be announcing the 2023 class of the Elks Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame. Joining me today are members of the Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame nomination committee, Vern, Larson, and Larry Torres. Welcome, Vern and Larry.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Makenna.
I'm just so excited to have you both here. This is our second class. And Vern, since we began the Hall of Fame last year, we've had kind of one guiding principle. We talked about it last year, but could you remind us what that was and the importance of that?
Okay, the guiding principle of everything dealing with the Hall of Fame is that it shouldn't be easy to get into. We've had thousands of volunteers, contributors, thousands of kids getting into it. But the idea behind it is to get the best of the best and nominate and induct people that have made the Hoop Shoot program what it is today. I mean, it took a lot of work to put something like this together. And it's been 51 years, for us to be involved with the Hoop Shoot. And prior to that, when Getty Powell first started it in 46, it took 26 years to develop it good enough until they decided to have a national contest in 1972.
Yeah.
So it's been a really big deal. And at our 50th anniversary last year, we did start this out, and it's going to develop each and every year to recognize the best of the best in the Elks Hoop Shoot.
Yeah, absolutely. And you touched on this a little bit, but Larry, tell us a little bit about the breakdown of the inductees. What are the categories that we're looking at?
This is the second class of the Elks Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame inductees. We're excited to keep growing and expanding the Hall of Fame and recognizing the network of program participants and volunteers over the years that have made the Hoop Shoot what it is today. I'd like to hear from both of you what the Hoop Shoot means to you and how this recognition speaks to that. Vern, let's start with you. Is that your part?
That's okay. The Hoop Shoot, I definitely have a love and a passion for the Hoop Shoot. I've been involved with the different levels, the different committees, the national contest, being the national contest manager, the announcer, for 49 years. And to do anything for 49 years, you got to be like it, or else you just wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
The Hoop Shoot family truly is a family. And I think what I particularly really like about it is the fact that it offers more than free throw shooting. These 8 to 13-year-old boys and girls have got passion, grit, everything to keep them going. And they learn things, like I said, other than the free throw. Wouldn't it be great if when I was younger, 8 to 13-year-old boys and girls, they have accomplished the fact of controlling their emotions, setting goals, reaching goals. It just goes, the list goes on and on. The best thing is they learn how to persevere even when it doesn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
They're developing the grit in their life. I think the Hoop Shoot program is something that's going to help these young 8 to 13-year-old boys and girls for the rest of their lives. And they're learning life lessons in this program. And I think the last part of that question that Larry talked about was, and how is this recognition speaks to that? Well, I said that at the beginning, that the Hall of Fame is for the best of the best. And so far, we're inducting people that have made it what it is today. come up with the different ideas and things like that. And last year we had a huge class. This year the class is much smaller, but just as important. And it's going to be great to recognize the people that we are today.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I would just completely agree with you that I think that the inductees show what the program, they're the best of the program. You know, it shows what the program can do for its participants, and it shows the dedication and passion and the grit also of our contributors that are putting this on year after year for 51 years as a national program. It's really impressive. Larry, do you have anything that you'd like to share at all about Hoop Shooter, the Hall of Fame?
No, I think most of us as volunteers, we started out working as shagging balls, cooking at the hoop shoot, making hot dogs, doing whatever needed to be done to have a successful program. And over the years, we developed a love for the program and to the kids that we have an impact on year after year. You know, many of us have been directors for a long, long time. And we've touched the lives of thousands of kids over the years. And it's really nice when you get to meet these children and see that they're successful and see that the program, the foundation that was set by, regional directors and national directors way before us. So we're just building on that foundation. And the program every year seems to get better and better. We touch more and more kids, and kids are going to college, and they've learned grit. They've set goals and meeting the challenges, and they've just become better people. And I think the world is a better place because we do have the Hoop Shoot program.
Wow. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Great words from both of you on the Hoop Shoot and the importance of this Hall of Fame. So without further ado, I think we should go ahead and announce our 2023 inductees. What do you guys think? Should we do it?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right. So let's start off. We have two categories, the contributors and the competitors. We will start with the competitors. Vern, you want to take us away?
Okay, the first competitor that's going to be inducted in 2023 is Kelly Goebel. He was a national finalist, and he's from Longview, Washington, Elks Lodge number 1514. Yeah. He competed in 1973. His score of 25 of 25 was the first perfect score at the national finals in 1973. He was shooting in the 8 to 9-year-old boy category.
It's pretty impressive.
So he's definitely a forerunner in the competitors of the hoop shoot, and almost from the very beginning. It was only the second year when we got a perfect score.
Yeah. And at 8 to 9 years old too, to have a perfect score is really impressive, right? Like you're, the youngest category, the littlest, and shooting perfect is a big accomplishment for anybody, but for an 8 to 9-year-old, that's pretty cool.
And we did learn that we will be presenting this posthumously to him. He died in an airplane crash when he was 26 years old. So we're sorry to hear that, but we will recognize him and his family.
Absolutely. Larry, would you like to do the next?
Yeah, up next is Kelly Lane Claus. She's from Vincennes, Indiana, Elks Lodge 291. She was a 4-time national finalist and 2-time Frank Heist national champion. Yeah. She was the first girl to have back-to-back national championships in 1978 and 79 in the 12 and 13-year-old girls division. But she competed a total of 4 years at the national. So awesome job she did over her hoop shoot years.
Super cool. Yeah. And actually, she was not even just the first girl to win back-to-back championships. She was the first contestant ever to win back-to-back, 78 and 79, in the girls 12 to 13. So first ever back-to-back champ, which is pretty impressive. And
our first year was 1975, and then missed a year
Right.
and came back for the next 3 years after that. So
Yeah.
that's excellent.
It's really cool. She was also a featured guest on this show, Hoop Shooting the Breeze, our first episode of season 3. So if you want to learn more about Kelly, check that episode out. She's also in the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, which is really, I mean, a great accomplishment. She's a very impressive basketball player. So congrats to Kelly. All right, next up, Vern, would you like to talk about our next?
Okay, the next inductee is Ty Russell Rogers. He was a national finalist. He's from Princeton, Kentucky, the basketball traditions in Kentucky, Elks Lodge number 1115. The year that he competed was 1995, and he was a national champion. He was also a Getty Powell Award winner and an Emma Brady Award winner. He was a star basketball player in the NCAA back in the day. He was a beat the buzzer beater in the NCAA. He played for Western Kentucky, and he was a national champion.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff.
I believe he was on our highlight reel last year on the sizzle reel, right? It had
Yes.
that shot.
Yeah, he was.
That was awesome.
It's really cool. We actually, because it's March Madness right now while we're filming, ESPN released a video of like the best buzzer beaters in March Madness history, and he made that list again. So it's pretty cool to see him, recognized by a national news outlet, however many years down the road. So congrats to Ty. And that concludes, those are our 3 competitor inductees for this year. So let's go through our contributors.
Okay, the first one is Bernard Waters. He's from Kansas, Kansas City Lodge number 26, and he was Getty Powell's right-hand man.
Mhm.
He was the first national coordinator of the actual contest. According to Bart Powell, who is Getty's son, he said that Bernie had everything set up for him. When they came into Kansas City on Friday, it was all ready to go. And he did this as long as we were in Kansas City. I don't know how many years Kansas City hosted the national contest, but he came to several contests in the next location, which was Indianapolis, and then spent the rest of his life taking care of his elderly mother. If he hadn't been what he was, there wouldn't be a Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame.
Wow.
So I don't know whether Larry or Makenna, if you remember anything about him, but that's according to Bart.
Yeah. I mean, and Bart was there with him, every step of the way. So he's the
Right.
one who definitely has that info down pat, right? That's pretty cool.
Yep.
It's really
And
cool.
then secondly, a gentleman from Iowa. He was a state hoop shoot director, a regional director for 19 years for the states of Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. According to Bart, he loved this program as much as Getty and Emil did. He had many, many ideas that helped get the program off of the ground. He was very instrumental in having girls in the competition.
Mhm.
He took Getty to the Iowa State girls basketball tournament, and after that, they asked the girls to join in the national competition also. So one of the stalwarts in the very beginning. I mean, just think of all of those different people from the 50 different states
Mhm.
that started putting this thing together from the very beginning and didn't know what was going to go on, from year to year. So they established the basics that made the hoop shoot what it is today.
That's really cool. How do we pronounce that's Dick
Dick Frolch,
Frolch? Frolch. Okay.
he was pre Jerry Grafton days.
Right, right. Yeah, Jay Grafton, another long time Region 3 director. So very cool. I'm
Yep.
glad that we're recognizing him. All right, Larry, who's up next?
Next is Don Fosnot. He was regional director for 12 years of the Great Lakes Region number 4, which is Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio. Don was a dynamo. Man, he was running around everywhere. He not only would he work the hoop shoot booth, he always worked the cancer booth that they had set up for the state association, and he was always busy. Really friendly guy, would do anything for you, and he just epitomized what it is to be a volunteer. I will always remember him for his dedication to our program.
Absolutely. Yeah.
His wife, Carrie, was a big help to all of us also. And Don was known as one of the three amigos,
Right.
the three guys from Indiana that came to the convention every year and
Mhm.
worked the different booths.
Oh, that's awesome. I have such fond memories of Don. He was a director the year that I started with the program, and he was just always so wonderful and just such a great volunteer, like you guys said, always willing to dive in and help, which is just so needed, I think. So that's great. All right, next up.
Next is Jim McNitt. He was a regional director for 16 years from Region 10, which is Delaware, Maryland, District of Columbia, North Carolina, Virginia, and West Virginia. A lot of states there.
Mhm.
But, he really had an impact on that region in the 16 years. They did a lot of great things to improve the program there. Like I said, we're just building on the foundation that was left to us by the original group of hoop shoot directors. And in many regions, there's only been 2 or 3.
Mhm.
Hasn't been a lot of opportunities, I guess, for you do it. I guess the people that are dedicated to it have stayed in it, and I think it's really added value to the program to have that continuity going on every year. So
Mhm.
he was a great guy,
Absolutely.
Jim McNitt. He still is. I mean, nice man. But he was like many of us regional directors. We have our wives supporting us. He had his wife Karen. She was on the regional director team for 16 years. She always worked the national final. She'd be at the scorer's desk, doing whatever needed to be done. And she was a head scorer at the national finals, and she had many behind the scenes roles. And like I say, many of our wives, that's what they do. They support us in whatever capacity we need, and they're there to volunteer just the way we do. So without our wives, the program wouldn't have the impact I think that it has today. So
Completely agree.
value.
I completely agree. And Karen has gone on to be the ER at her lodge, I think twice now, and has taken on a ton of elk roles, beyond the hoop shoot as a result of being a part of the hoop shoot, which I think is really cool. It just shows that, you know, one entry into into elkdom through the hoop shoot can lead on to so many other things. And I think you guys both know that from personal experience too. So I don't know. I think that that's pretty cool.
Another interesting tidbit about Karen, her dad was involved with the local Elks Lodge very deeply. And when she and Jim got married, one of the stipulations was that he had to be an elk. And I'm not sure if he initiated Jim or not, but he was involved with the elks up in that area for a long, long, long time.
That's really cool. I love to hear that. All right, last but not least.
Last but not least, on the volunteer contributor inductees is Joy Brady. She is the wife of Emma Brady, the second national director of the National Hoop Shoot program. Emma was the national director, but a lot of people knew Joy was the one that did most of the work behind the scenes. And I remember she would be there at the national contest, and she would be doing just a little bit of everything like they all do when Cam and Linda Cronk, they were the third national directors, and they were inducted last year, but the spouses behind the scenes do just as much work as the actual regional directors that run the competition. So Joy is the last of our inductees this year, and a very well person to join the Elks Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, that's it. So we have a total of 9 inductees this year, 3 competitors and 6 contributors. We're so excited to announce this class, and I'll share a little bit about what's next for the Hall of Famers. This is the official announcement, and we have invited the members or a member of their family to join us in Chicago for this upcoming national finals, which we hope to have some of them in attendance. I know the McNitts will definitely be there, so that'll be exciting to have both Jim and Karen on site. And we'll also be posting these names and bios for each of these Hall of Famers on our website, which is elkshoopshoot.org. So please go check that out. And I think that's it. Larry or Vern, do you guys have any final thoughts?
No, just congratulations to all the inductees. Like we decided at the beginning, it shouldn't be easy to get into the Hall of Fame. So this is the cream of the crop. They're all very deserving individuals, and it's just rewarding them for their work over the years. It's a cumulative. I mean, it wasn't just a one-year deal. People have been in for most of their elk
Right.
membership, and the kids, they practice thousands of shots just to get to the national finals. Then to win it, it's even awesome. So tremendous job by all.
I know that my former region had their regional contest this last weekend, and the 6 regional champions are already practicing day to day to compete at the national contest down in Chicago in April. So we wish everybody lots of luck at the national finals, and congratulations to the Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame inductees for 2023.
Awesome. Well, thank you again both so much for all your work on this, helping us, with our selection this year, and being on the show with me today to announce the Elks Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame class of 2023. So for all of you watchers out there, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great content like this. And if you liked the show, leave a thumbs up and let us know what you think in the comments. Until next time, best wishes.
Best wishes.
Yes.